Hey friends, welcome to the Inner Spark podcast. I'm your host, Casey Tayton. If you're looking to hear stories of transformation and personal growth, this podcast is for you. My guest and I will be sharing those sparking moments that has changed them into living a more fulfilling, authentic life. I'm so excited for you to hear each unique story. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Hey friends, welcome back to the Inner Spark podcast. I'm your host, Casey Tayton. Today, I have with me Shabana Knight. She is a mother, a wife, an all-around just beautiful soul that I have got the chance to connect with. And I'm so excited for you guys to meet her. Welcome, Shabana.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me here. This is fun.
Thanks for coming. I'm so excited you're here. Sorry, you're just so beautiful. You guys, she's like this beautiful light. I'm going to post a picture so you guys can see it, but she is like this ray of sunshine. And I'm going to start this off by telling you guys, I met her through Kathy Heller's World, and she sent me a message one day, and then she listened to my podcast, and I was blown away. And I was like, I am so grateful to be surrounded by beautiful souls. And I seriously consider you a blessing in my life. I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here, and I cannot wait for them to hear your story.
Well, you already made me cry, so thank you for that. Yeah, vice versa. The older I get, I feel like the more amazing people that I get to meet, like you, who are making an impact where you're at. And it's so fun being in a space where you get to just meet amazing people and share that energy and love because, I mean, our world needs it so badly just to have that light and love. Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
awesome. It's great.
All right, I'm going to ask you a couple questions if that's okay.
Absolutely.
You guys, she has one of the most powerful stories I've ever heard. And you're just a light. Your life is just this beautiful, magical thing that you turn it into. Would you tell them a little bit about your story?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was the age of 2, 4, me and my brother were found at a train station separated from our parents, and a police officer found us. He looked around, he didn't see any guardians or parents, and he placed us in an orphanage. From there, we were there for about a year and a half, and then finally get adopted out. We grew up in the same family on the East Coast. And then just recently, this past February, March, I went back to India and went on this tour. And at the end, we got to see the orphanage where I was from. And it was just that full circle moment of like, holy crap, like my life has been so amazing. There's so many facets to the story, but like that's just the very short part of it. I'm just so proud of like where I come from and seeing the culture. This was basically my first time back for me to do what I wanted to do. I don't know like my parents or siblings or anything like that. And yeah.
You just gave me chills. Thanks for sharing that. There's so much in that, and there's so many ways you could have taken your life and been like, I live the most horrible life. And yet you've made it into this truly blessing of like, I've had a beautiful life. Like, you experienced something that not very many people can say.
Yeah.
And like, do you remember those feelings? Do you remember that officer? Like, how all that?
No, I was only 2 years old at the
Okay.
time. So again, like he just gathered the information, like kind of like, oh, this is the situation, and that's what he told to the orphanage, and that's like our beginning story. I don't, but at the same time, like a lot of my life, I've dealt with like the feelings of like abandonment and rejection and like low energy and stuff like that. And obviously, that all stems from being left at such a young age. but I've done so much healing work that it's just like night and day. It's just like, okay, like that's our beginning story, but like who am I now? What have I overcome? What are the choices I get to choose each day to not be stuck in my like old story, and like how can I like rise above and choose joy and help people? Like, I don't know. It's just
You guys, she's
it's
lighting up. Like her face is smiling. I wish you guys could all see it because we all have a story. We all have a journey.
yeah.
And you chose like exactly what you said. You live with so much joy
Yeah.
and you've done, I think in Kathy Heller's world, we do a lot of healing ourselves, but
Yes.
and it's a continual thing. And a lot of people don't know about it. And I think that's something that we have is supportive people to surround ourselves with to continually help us grow, but we get to share about it. And we get to share about how we grow and overcome these obstacles and these like challenges. And we can say it happened to us and we can be the victim in it. But in a way, it's almost like it's like this blessing and this like, I got to live this beautiful life.
Yeah.
This is my story, but I got to change it into something. I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky that I got to connect with you and that you're on this, you're here and they get to hear you.
Yes. But it's wild. I guess it's like even 10 years ago, like I didn't expect that I would be sitting on a Zoom call with somebody sharing my story. I've always shared my story with people. And it's more like because people ask me, like, oh, where are you from? And so I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you, kind of thing. But then eventually I learned that, like, I was staying stuck in my story, in this, like, abandonment story. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can change this. And then just like choosing out, like, we have so many things that happen to us as children that we just take for like what it is, and then we eventually hopefully learn how to like heal ourselves and work on ourselves, and then realize like there's so much more to life than being stuck in our stories, and then how like empowering and freeing it is not to be the victim. um yeah.
That's so powerful. I often ask people, like, we all have this story, and then there's like something that like sparks it inside of us, the inner spark that's like, like I fought an illness, and I was like, I could go around living that and telling my story. And I didn't speak my story for a long time. Just like you, like we all have
Yeah.
this thing where it's like, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't
Yes.
I don't know if you ever felt like I don't want people to like judge me or feel sorry for me or like I already did that to myself and I didn't want it.
Yes, for sure. It's that like, yeah, you just I don't want people to say, "Oh, like poor her." No, like I want people to see you don't have to stay stuck in your story. Like that is one part of your life that's maybe like your platform to get you into places or talking to people to encourage them that there is a better way. And our better way is honestly choosing ourselves. Like I've dealt with like people pleasing for so long
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other thing. And I still struggle with things, but it's all comes down to choice. And it all comes down to I choose me first. I need to spend time on me. And out of that, letting everything else flow. Like a little bit about me. Like I'm married, I have 3 kids, and life is really crazy and busy. But at the same time, it's like it's wonderful the things I've chosen to create for myself and for my family. Like I chose not to work full time, and we struggled for a few years kind of thing, and I work part time and I love it, and I'm there for my kids when to see them out the door in the morning, and I'm there for them when they come home or they have different like sporting events. And then my daughter rides horses and stuff, so sometimes she has competitions and stuff, and then the older one is like learning to drive and like things like that. So it's just like I know we're busy, but at the same time it's just again just choosing that joy and using my gifts as a way to make money part-time is just so freeing, and I love it. Like it just like, oh, I can't believe I created this life. Like I thought it you had to do things a certain way, but you don't. Like you don't. You get to choose, and you get to keep choosing, and like it does work out.
That's so powerful right there. because I think that so many people like people pleasing, like the things we think we don't get to choose, and that life has to be hard and difficult, and life gets to be what you make it.
Yes,
Life
yes.
gets to be like fun and exciting, and
Mhm.
like we get to be on these calls together, sharing each other's experiences. We each have this story, but yet we're like, how can we make this world a better place? And I get to
Yeah.
see your post, and I'm like, everything she's doing, like she makes it look so simple. She makes gratitude and just sharing her life look so simple. And so it's just those moments that I'm like, I'm so grateful to be surrounded by people like that because
Yeah.
I would have never known your story if you wouldn't have shared it. And when I did, I was like, so interesting because you don't live in this place of look at me, feel sorry for me. You're like, my life is great. I did this. I got to grow up great. You got to go back and visit, right?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that, any?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was amazing. It was this so I just recently turned 40, and so I had been planning to go to India. It started back in I think like 2017, 2018. I saw the movie Lion. It's about a boy who gets separated from his brother at a train station and then ends up in an orphanage and ends up getting adopted. And it literally was the same time period of me when me the movie took place at the same time period that me and my brother were left at a train station and stuff. And so that movie just like triggered so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to go back to India and see my roots and just do all this stuff. So I had um back in 2018, 2019, I had done some fundraising and I like had this massive goal and I was able to reach this financial goal to go on this trip with saving and donations. And then COVID hit and then everything changed. And then like the money has been like sitting in a bank account for like 6 years kind of thing. Then after COVID and stuff started opening back up, um, my husband also found out he has a bunch of food allergy, and at this point, the kids are getting older and stuff. So it was more important for them to be in school and him to stay home. So things changed. So I was going to go on this trip, but I didn't want to go by myself. So then it literally like fell into place. The three people that came with me on this trip, and then so then we joined a tour group and we did that. And then at the end of the trip, we got to see the orphanage and just sit and talk to them. And I cried so much. I learned so much. I healed so much just to be there in that building and feel the energy and the love and the support and knowing that I have been held for so long and carried for so long and surrounded for so long. And then like they were amazing. The lady was just like, "Tell me about your upbringing. Tell me about you. What is your life like?" And I just got to share with her my life in the last like 36 years basically of just growing up in the United States and who I married and my kids and just it was just so neat that somebody would take the time to sit and care and listen to me. Um
You're making me
and
cry.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's great. I love it. I love it. So just to be held and seen, it was huge. And then I come back to the US and then I went to the Kathy Heller retreat and like that was amazing. So India was great. It was just mind blowing. There would be these moments when I was there and I would feel it like in my soul, like that stuff would just resonate. And I and also like just being around people that like look like me and I'm not the odd person out and like these are my people. Like this is so cool and like different like mannerisms that people would do and I'm like I do that. Like it
That's
was just it was wild.
that's really cool to hear because you were brought up in like you were raised in the United States.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
grew up on the
So,
East Coast, so very American household. So
yeah, that's really neat that I can only imagine the feelings of walking into a place that you at some point remember but don't really remember because you were so young, but
Yes.
also knowing that you were safe there, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
the people there that held space for you, like, and they wanted to know, that is such a good feeling. And I can only imagine that it filled your soul up to let someone, to even have someone ask you, not just like, oh yeah, you lived here. And you were like, that's, that's where I was. You were like, no, I got to live somewhere because people don't often associate orphanages or any place like a home like that.
Yeah.
They don't associate anything. I mean, yes, they're loving people. Everybody has a good heart, but the power that you got to go back and just reconnect, and someone was like, I want to know more.
Yeah.
Like,
It-
do you think that was like the changing in your life, or do you think it happened before that? Like that spark that was lit in you?
I think, I mean, all throughout my life, there's been different sparks and things that come out. Obviously, this is my most like recent one. Yeah. It's just this sense of completion. Like if don't I haven't done a ton of research of trying to find like family or anything like that, my birth family or whatever, but this was enough. Like this visit, seeing the orphanage, I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know like even like how their English would be. She spoke amazing English. This was the executive director there. But I just feel complete. There's no more like burning, dying questions that I have. I'm happy. I'm whole. It just everything came together, and I am so happy for myself. I'm happy that I took the time to go on this adventure. I'm happy with what I saw, what we did. Like everything was so good. And then that's where I think more people that are adopted, like just to encourage them to go study their roots, even if it's like it's they live like in California, but they knew they were born in New Jersey or whatever, like just to go to New Jersey and discover their roots or whatever. Like wherever you're from, if you know where you're from, you should go do it.
There's so much power in all that, actually. I just can't say that's one statement because you getting to see where you're from originally and like this is why I do that, or that's why the mannerisms I have, even though you were raised in America, that doesn't mean anything. You're like, oh, I get it. I get it now. It makes sense. And
Mhm.
just the feeling of you now, the questions out of your mind, I can only imagine the wholeness you feel and the courage. Like, can I just give you such courage, like a big hug? Like, you took the courage to like raise money, get the funds, then it got canceled, and you weren't like, I'm stopping this. You were like, no, I'm still going. Like, this is still gonna happen. And you got to go with two amazing people. And
Yeah.
those people were, I mean, right time, right place. Like, it wasn't with your family, not like exactly like you planned, but it worked out and it just completed your full circle.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was looking at notes the other day, and there's actually, I think it was like an 8 year gap from when I casted the vision of wanting to go to when I actually went. And um, a lot of it, I mean, honestly, a lot of those 8 years in between, yes, there was COVID for X amount of years, but there's a lot of just doubt and just frustration. Like it was easy to raise the money, that wasn't a problem. But after that, it's just also like there was a season of just feeling disappointed because people would ask, like, how's your trip planning going? I'm like, oh, I wanted
Yeah.
it to look this way and I don't know how it's going to work out, but I trust that it will. And then the three people that did end up going with me on this trip, it was one of those just like, hey, because they asked me how it was going. And I was like, hey, do you want to come with me? Like, I was like so desperate, I feel like at some point. And they're like, well, we'll think about it. And the two people that went, Brenda and Rob, those two, they're family friends, but they're like distant family friends. And they thought about it and it all worked out. And they ended up going and were such a huge support. And then my friend Karen went with us. And she's a good friend. She was my roommate on the trip. Cause like originally when I was planning it, it was like, no, like, of course my husband has to be with me because I feel like I'm going to be such an emotional wreck and I'm going to need that support. And then things changed and that's okay. And the trip was exactly how it needed to be, and I wouldn't change it.
I
Yeah.
think that's the power of trusting, and we often forget that whatever you believe in, that things are going to align, but you just have to trust the process.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to just say no. And especially when people are asking you, I can't imagine the frustration. And you just were like, it's coming along. And then you made it happen. And now
Yeah.
you've got so many answers and like the right people, the right timing. Like you just fully
Yeah.
trust it. And I think that's what makes you who you are and just like this bright, shining light because not everybody does that. And you're just like this natural born leader in this light. And I
Oh,
mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys, she listened to my podcast and she sent me the sweetest message. And I was blown away because not everybody does that. And I was like, she has the heart of gold. Like,
mhm.
she lights up this world. And she shared about my mission and what lights me up. And I was like, we live states away. We're not even in the same state. And she was like, hey, if you live in Kansas, like, hey, you can go help Casey, you know? And I was like, these are my people, and these are the people that if everybody had a tiny bit of that in them, this world would be so much better. And we're here to just show people that and raise everybody up because you do that to others. And you give people permission to see that life doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but you find so much joy in everything you do.
You're
And
making me cry, so you can stop. No,
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Listen,
There's no
I
way. Thank you.
there's so many powerful people in this world and so many bright lights and that's truly what this podcast is about. It's like we've all been through something and we can live in that story or we can rise above that story.
Yeah.
And you do that. And I was even listening to you, or maybe it was I was reading something and you were talking about how you clean. And I was like, when I clean, okay, I clean our gym. And I sometimes I'm like, this is not fun. And I'm like, wait a minute. When you said when I clean, I get to do this. I get to, and like your whole words around it, and like these people get to come home to this clean house, and it's like dusting away everything, and I was like, oh my goodness, why don't I think about this? You just shifted my mindset, and I was like
Like,
laughing, and I was like, it's like the simple words someone says, and then you get to choose how you think about everything you do.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just off record, but on the record, my bathroom is disgusting and I don't even want to clean my own bathroom. I'm like, I keep avoiding it, but it's just like, I can do anything. And that is one thing that I'm like, oh, so I have my struggles, people, just saying.
You're
But
human. You're human.
yes,
I
yes.
think it's easier to clean somebody else's house. If I go to somebody else's house, it's
Oh,
easier to
yeah,
help
totally.
somebody else or do something else at
Mhm.
their house. And you come home and you look at your house, you're like, ah,
Yeah,
why?
exactly.
But I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna start cleaning my house and I'm gonna make this fun somehow because you just like
Mhm.
reframed my mind on cleaning. Like it can like
Yeah.
getting away all the clutter and it just
Mhm.
felt so good.
Good.
Your words are just so good. Okay, I was not at Kathy Heller's retreat at Bloom. But can we share a little bit about what happened there? Okay, so this story, you guys, I think is really powerful. I was not there, and I'm gonna let you tell it. Because what I heard is okay, so there's this, if you're not in Kathy's world, for everybody who doesn't know, it's called human design, and she did human design at her chart, but you have to know your birthday. And you didn't know your birthday, right?
Correct. Okay, so at Kathy's retreat, and it was one of those things. I'm like, why am I going on this retreat? Like, it was one of those things. I'm like, I feel like I don't really have like a business as like all these amazing women show up and they're like, oh, I have this podcast and I do all these cool things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I here? I feel like I don't belong, but here we are. Um, so I had done one of her programs like last year, and one of the bonuses is I got the retreat for free. So that's why I showed up because I mean, who doesn't like something
Yeah.
free? So I was there, and then we did do human design. And so the backstory on my birthday is because I'm adopted, they didn't know my birthday. So when we got to the orphanage, they just decided, hey, this is your birthday, which is September 22nd, 1984. And so that's what's on all my like legal documents and stuff. So we're at this retreat, and yes, part of human design is you're supposed to know your birthday. She had Alexander Cole come in and do the session. But basically, I just told Alex, I was like, I don't know my birthday. What would you like me to do? And she's like, just listen in and see like what resonates with you, and then just go to that group. So I picked a group, and at the end, it was like manifesting generator kind of thing. And it felt good and aligned. And then that evening, one of the other participants in the group was like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner? We could do something low key, just the two of us. I'm like, yes, but I'm going to invite my roommate. So it was me, Natalie, and my new friend, Christy. We go out to dinner, and it's awesome. And the restaurant's closing, and we're like, oh, we should probably leave. And then we go back to her room, and she is pulling us oracle cards and stuff. And I like look at her, and I'm like, wait, you're an oracle? And she's like, yes. I was like, tell me when my birthday is. Because I had heard in my heart when we were doing human design what my birthday was, but I like didn't want to tell anyone.
Mhm.
Um, and then she says April 22nd. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And then our other friend was like, oh my gosh, yes, I was thinking the same thing. So together, the three of us decided that my chosen birthday would be April 22nd. And the like crazy part is that when I went back to the human design like website, I typed in the birthday and I put in 1984, but it didn't align. So I was like, wait a minute, what if I did 1985? So I did April 22nd, 1985, meaning that in at the time of the retreat in 2 weeks, I would turn 40. And I put that in, and it was crazy because it spit me out manifesting generator and six, I think it was 6-1 or 6-2. But anyway, it was just crazy that like my new birthday aligned with the information that I had learned that day while we were doing human design stuff. When I was in India, I purchased a very expensive ring, and this ring
Oh,
is
so beautiful.
so pretty. I love it. I'm gonna have to post a picture on my socials now, but
Yeah.
this this ring has 22 diamonds on the outside circle, and April's birthstone is diamonds. So it's basically saying April 22nd, but in stone form for my new birthday. And
Yeah.
then the centerpiece of this ring is a blue topaz, and that's one of December's birthstones. So David and I got married December 1st, and there's one blue topaz. And there's so much of the significance of like just me being married to David and how we met each other. And there's so many different synchronicities, and that is just like mind blowing. So December 1st is beyond extremely special for us, and that we're like still married and together. Oh my gosh, our story. That's another crazy story. But anyway, so we decided during the Bloom retreat that my new birthday that we're celebrating is April 22nd. And I wouldn't have come home with that if I hadn't gone to the retreat, and just how life is amazing. And again, like we're talking about these full circle moments, and this ring is the full circle. So it's just like, oh, duh, of course.
The reason I wanted you to share that story is because I think it's funny that you were like, why am I at Kathy's event? Because I went to one of her summits and I was like, I had started a podcast. It was like, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, but I didn't have my podcast out yet. And it was a
Yeah.
podcasting summit, but not everybody. I had the card and that was it. And so I went. But when you're around all these amazing people, it doesn't matter. You forget and you're just like, it's just about connecting, the power of connecting with so many beautiful people. And the things that come out of there are truly incredible. So if someone ever has a chance to go to a Kathy Heller event, I would highly encourage it. The connection of people there is just something your soul cannot. I can't even explain it. I can't, it's been a year since I went last May and I was like, I don't belong here. This is my first trip. So when you said
Yeah.
that, like, why am I going? It's like, oh, well, you were meant to be there.
Yeah.
And the power of your birthday. And here's the thing is not everybody would be open to that. Like some people would be like, I don't know my birthday and panic. And you were just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I have this day that people said, and you
Yeah.
just trusted the whole process and the power of the ring that came all in like full
Yeah.
circle of everything that you
Yes.
said. Like, you can't make that stuff up.
You can't. Like, I literally had bought it March 1st, and then the retreat was like April 1st. So, like, a month later, kind of thing. And I was just drawn to it. And I had a choice between two different rings. And everyone was like, no, buy the other ring. I'm like, no, I want this ring. Like, if I'm going to spend my money on it, it's my choice. And so I went with the ring. And then, like, right away, I like texted my husband. I'm like, I spent a lot of money. Don't like, don't freak out on the credit card. He's like, it's fine. I'm like, okay, good, because I love it. So yeah.
That's amazing. And there's so many, it's synchronicities, but it's like, it's a synchronicities like you're open to these things. Like you're
Yes.
open and when you're not open, these things don't happen.
Yeah. No, totally. And I always say, like, it comes down to choice to be open or not to be
Yeah.
open. And it's pretty simple, but at the same time, I mean, we all get caught up in our thoughts and stuff. And it's like, okay, breathe. Like right before this call, we're like having technical difficulties. I'm like, what is going on? Like, we got to do this podcast and it's happening, but we just got to learn some stuff before we jump on.
That's another reason why I love you because you could have been like, this happened and I'm not doing it. And I could have been like, hey, my day's crazy. I can't do this. But I was like, she's such a light in this world. And you're like, I'm struggling. I'm like, it's okay, breathe, because this podcast is fun. I want this
Yeah.
podcast to be fun, and I want everybody that's listening to see the light in the world that you are. Like you are just this
Mhm.
bright, shining light, and you just bring so much joy and so much love everywhere. I watch your social media page and the way you interact with people. I'm like, if I know I said this, but I really mean it. Like, if everybody could do that and just take like a tiny piece of that,
Yeah.
like this world would be such a great place. But
Yeah.
here's the thing is, as you said, you have the choice and you choose to see so much good in this world. And by the way, happy 40th birthday.
Thank you.
I truly believe like when I turned 40, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm 40. But I truly believe your life is really just starting. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
I needed that. You're right. My
Yeah.
life is just starting. Like I get to tell my story and I do my podcast so I can hear other people's amazing stories and get them out in the world and let them know that there's so much good no matter what you've been through. Your story is so powerful and so meaning and you're changing the world.
Oh. And one thing I was thinking about, I was like, obviously this podcast will be shared and whoever listens listens, and I hope they feel loved and inspired. But even if nobody listened to it and it was just us receiving back and forth and ping ponging back and forth, like, it was worth showing up. It was worth having the conversation. I mean, technically this is the first time we've ever talked before, and
Yeah.
like everything is just flowing and I love it. Um, but it's just like, I know I'm going to be buzzing for the rest of the weekend because I got the time to talk with you and share my story, hear your story back and forth. And it's like, we just need as women to keep having these amazing conversations and
Yeah.
encouraging people and encouraging each other, regardless who's listening. Like, just to spread that love energy everywhere we go. Like, it's so important. So,
That is probably one of the most powerful things. I'm releasing a podcast this weekend and it's about the power of friendship. And I truly
wow,
believe
love it.
that, and it's my pod that recorded it. Like I'm in a podcast pod
Yeah.
and friendships are so important. And it doesn't matter that we're on Zoom and that we live in different states. It wouldn't
Yeah.
even matter if we lived in a different country. It's the
Yeah.
power that we can still share love and open our hearts and learn something from each other and still bring so much light and joy. And like this conversation just changed my whole day. Like I went from frantic to like, oh my goodness, this is happening and we're making it happening. And I'm looking at my screen, you guys, and I get to see this glowing, beautiful person and and hear her story. Like that's just
Yeah.
It's truly what I made this podcast for. And I was like, if
Love it.
5 people listen, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna share. I'm throwing it out in the universe that it's gonna touch every person that it touches is gonna be the right person.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that.
Do you want to share anything else?
Yeah, now that you asked. Just I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, I just started how do I say that? Okay. So obviously, like I clean houses and I organize and stuff like that. But one thing I really am starting to do more is I really want to grow like my Instagram account so I can be that love and light everywhere I go. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm like I'm gonna pull like oracle cards for people. And that's obviously totally if you're into it and totally fine if you're not. I'm here to spread love and light. And I think these cards are amazing. And so giving people the choice to just basically let me pull them something and encourage them and stuff. When we're done, we'll definitely have to pull a card for you for fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Um,
I'm
okay.
in.
And then, so doing that, and then this other business idea that I've been like chewing in my mind for the past month that I just need to do is that I want to send encouraging notes to people and like turn that into a business. So basically, like if you're just like, I need an encouraging note, and like literally like a handwritten note, and they get it in the mail. Um, and or like let's say you know someone who's struggling like with cancer or whatever, and then you say, hey, could you write a note to this person, kind of thing, and let that surprise them and bless them. I do feel like that I choose to be connected to source energy and stuff, and like I want to bless people with my words, and I know I'm doing that this way, being on podcasts and stuff like that and sharing my story. And who even just the other day we were at Costco and I was asking a guy if there was the veggie straws. Anyway, so they didn't have it. They only had like the snack sizes. But when we were done, I was like, I love your earrings. And then he's like, oh, thanks. And then we were at the checkout and I asked the lady to double check in the computer because he was just on the floor. Anyway, so he's already at the front like looking on the computer like, hey, sorry, we don't have any. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for like following me up here and like finding the information when I thought that was like 10 minutes ago, kind of thing. So my point is you should be love and light everywhere you go, and everybody needs encouragement. And if you see something in someone, you should, I think, always compliment them and like be genuine about it. But like if it doesn't pop in your head, then like don't make up stuff. But if it pops in your heart, in your head, like say, hey, I like your hair or your shoes or whatever. Because we need that. And I know that that compliment to him of like, hey, I love your earrings is going to stick with him for a long time, because they were definitely like drastic and different. And like I feel like most people were like, oh, that's questionable, or like, why does he have his ears pierced? And like, stop judging people, just love. So
That that right there. Stop judging people and just love. First of all, I will share her links and where you guys can find her because you need to go find her. She's sharing positive stuff nonstop. If I'm having a bad day, it's like, or struggling or something, my mind's just like, just go look at her page because there's going to be something positive on there. And
yeah.
we're going to make your business happen. So whoever is listening, you guys heard it, go follow her. She's already doing amazing things. And the best thing in the world would be to get a surprise note. Like I open my mailbox and I tell my mail lady, I'm like, hey, if there's something like you don't really need to drop off my mail, and she laughs and I'm like, I mean, if there's a good mail in there, but like I don't want this mail. Like you just get bills and you get all these things and you're like all this like junk mail, and I'm like, but the moment someone opens up a mail and it's a piece of happy mail or a message that you get unexpected, those are the things that change people's lives. Just like you
Yeah.
complimenting someone, like we have no idea people are going through. And
Yeah.
I actually, so I had this girl home. I feel like I'm like you. I'll randomly say something to someone.
Oh yeah.
It just comes out. Like,
Yeah.
I just talk to people, and it just comes easy for me to be like, and I feel like I'm quiet, like carrying on conversations, but I can easily say something like, "Oh, I really like that," And the
Yeah.
way people smile, it's like I didn't do it for you. I did it because I really think that's cute and it just comes out of your mouth. I was
Yep.
having a hard day. I have frozen shoulder and it's super painful.
Mm, I'm so
And
sorry. Yeah.
I had this young girl. I was at Quick Trip. So this was my day. I left the doctor's office. I was crying. I was like, I'm gonna go have a donut and I'm gonna just go cry. And I don't even eat donuts, like, because I watch what I eat. I watch what I
Yeah.
eat. And
Yeah.
I like went to Quick Trip and
Okay.
there's this young girl in there and she's like, of course I've been bawling. My face was all red and she was like,
Mhm.
I'm trying to open the bag with one hand, like
Yeah.
those donut bags at the gas stations. You can't ever get them open with one hand. They're stuck
Uh-huh.
in your. And she's like this young teenage girl, and she said, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And she's like, "Do you want me to get your donut for you also?" And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And I was like,
Aw.
and she's like, the weather was kind of like getting ready to rain, and she was like, "I know the weather is kind of like dreary outside, but the sun's not really shining, but I really hope you have a good day." And I was like, thank
Aw.
you. And I walked out, so I pay and I walk out and she gets in her car with her mom and I reached in her mom's window, like knocked on the window, and I was like, "Is this your daughter?" And she kind of looked at me and like, "I'm sorry, were you on the phone?" Because she had her phone up. I think she was playing it for a kid in the back. And I could see this girl, she was a teenager. Her eyes go
Yeah.
like this and like, "Oh my goodness, what did I do?" And I was like, I just want to tell you how thankful I am. Like, people don't stop, and a lot of times people judge kids and teens, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're not all bad. I
Yeah.
said,
No.
I am having a really bad day, and I'm really struggling with my arm. I'm like, your daughter helped me open my donut bag and get my donut, and then like proceeded to tell me to have a good day. And I just want to tell you, she changed my day. Like,
Aw.
she made
Yeah.
my day. And it's just like the small reminders of like things like that, just like you said, we can do things like that. Also, teens, I wanted to tell her because they often don't get enough compliments of like, this teen just did that. And it's just so simple
Yeah.
of opening a bag for somebody, giving somebody a compliment on their earrings.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
just, yeah. You gave me chills when I heard that story. That was beautiful. Just, and also like us as women, like also being able to receive the help from other people. I
yeah.
mean, I feel like that's huge healing growth when you can receive help from other people. We're so stubborn and fickle
Oh,
sometimes. No, I don't want help. I can manage this bag one-handed, and it's just like, no, like I love it. You
the
like,
old me would have said
yeah.
that. Like,
Oh,
out of stubbornness,
absolutely.
would have been like,
Mhm.
no
I
thanks.
got
I got
yeah.
this. Like, I
Mhm.
don't need your help. I can figure it out by myself with one hand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. And it's just like, so yeah, you're right. It acknowledged how much I've grown as a person, and just
Mhm.
receiving it is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Love it.
If you were to tell them today where they can start to do something to light them up, what would you tell them?
I would say make a happy list, and don't take that like wrong or weird or whatever, but like write down 5 things on that list that truly make you happy. Like for me, the things I would find on this list would be um cleaning up the house, but not the bathroom, but tidying up the house, taking a walk, listening to music, exercising, going out to lunch with a good friend, taking pictures of nature and flowers and stuff like that, journaling, having 5 minutes of peace and quiet, even if that means like it closing the bathroom door for 5 minutes, like without my phone kind of thing. And then when you are like stuck or whatever, go back to your list and then go do the thing on the list. Just to remember, like, you're always that choice. And sometimes we feel like we have all these things pulling at us, whether it's responsibilities or kids or boyfriends or spouses or whatever. And honestly, like learning to say no, like mommy needs a timeout, and go taking your break or whatever. Or even just if you have any pets or whatever, like for me, I have this cat and he's amazing. He's an indoor cat. He's like 20 pounds and needs to lose weight. That's besides the point. But like I'll go and I'm like, Jasper, come here. And I'll lay in bed and pet my cat. And um, it's the best thing. Like just taking care of yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes each day.
That's so beautiful. Everything you said is just bringing awareness to where you are,
Mhm.
and you can
Yeah.
say no, and you can I have a cat too. I do that with.
Love it. Aw.
Yeah, my cat's laying over there, and I'm like, I just need to pet you for a little bit. Just need to love.
Mhm.
And cats
He's
know.
yeah, he's my therapy cat. Like
That's what
we
I
talk
say.
all the
I was like,
time.
my cat hears all my problems. She doesn't judge. She's the best.
Right? And
Yeah, I love it.
so fun.
Do you want to tell them where to find you? And then I will drop it in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Find me on Instagram. That is the platform that I'm growing. So come like, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun things. And it's just Shabana.Knight Instagram. It will be
Yeah,
in the show notes. So
yeah, I'll leave
yeah.
it in the show notes. I
Yep.
want to
And then
thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Do you want to say anything else?
no, this has just been super fun. And I like amazing that I get this opportunity to hang out with you. And we should just keep talking. But yeah.
I feel like we could talk for hours, you guys.
Yeah.
If you saw her on the screen, and it's just like this magic feeling of two people that are we're strangers, and all of a sudden we just get to connect, and it's like our souls just like align us to these people and guide us to these people who are like, yeah, they're my people, and I could be around them all day and
Yeah.
just have a general conversation. And it's like, even though we are strangers, yet I don't feel like we're strangers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, agreed. I That's like one thing that I've always been really intentional about is I just want people to feel loved and welcomed and seen because we're all human and we're having this human experience and yeah. I think the only other thing that I guess restarting back up, but it's just like clarity coaching. So these are just quick 15-minute phone calls a couple times a month. And so basically I want to work with women who are, like we can literally talk about anything and have it solve problems because we get stuck and want to help people get
Yeah.
unstuck. And so clarity coaching is all about that. And also like clarity cards with the oracle cards. I'm like, this is going to be my new word. So,
I love it.
so that is
You already changed people's lives just by being the bright light you are. I'm going to encourage all my listeners. I want to thank you so much for being here.
yes.
And I will leave you guys, I will leave all her information in the show notes. I want to thank you for listening to this episode, and I encourage you to go follow her. Her journey, her story is so powerful and so touching, and she is just a light in this world. So go follow her and take her advice. Do something for you today and do something for somebody else, and just go let your sparks fly. Go find the light in the world. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. I hope today's story inspired you to embrace your own journey of growth and change. Remember, transformation isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave a review. If you found something that sparked you in this episode and may spark a friend, I encourage you to go share it with them. If you have your own story you would like to share, I would love to hear it, so please reach out to me. Until next time, friends, go have some fun and let those sparks fly.